In today's video, we are making an American classic that's generally found in everybody's recipe book, but this ain't your mama's meatloaf. As always, the first step is to head outside to your grilling deck and get your grill, whatever you're using, to 250 degrees. Now this meatloaf, like I said, ain't your mama's meatloaf. We are bacon wrapping this, and I got the thick cut bacon, but a little secret for this recipe, normally bacon takes a little longer to cook than the rest of the meat, doesn't crisp up as long. We're gonna let it sit in the pellet grill for about 20 minutes so that it crisps up a little bit so that it'll cook faster when we put it all together. For a little added flair, we're gonna use some prime 4 espresso to season up those bacon slices and have a nice robust flavor. The key to any meatloaf is, of course, meat. So we're gonna take 2 pounds of ground chuck 80/20. We're gonna put this in a bowl right here along with a pound of ground pork. That's important as well. And then we're gonna season this up and make it a loaf, throw it on the smoker. Next, add 2 lightly beaten eggs, 1 small diced onion, 1 cup of breadcrumbs, 2 tablespoons of W sauce or Worcestershire sauce, 1/4 cup of that fancy ketchup, 2 tablespoons of the Kosmos Texas brisket rub. If you don't have any, salt, pepper, garlic will work. 2 more tablespoons of prime 4 classic. I added a little more, and 2 cloves of minced garlic. You got all these beautiful ingredients here, and I know what you're thinking. Mark, you should have used a bigger bowl. Doesn't matter, we're gonna get our hands dirty. Let's mix all this together. Just get your hands all up in there. Try to limit what you're spilling. Your loaf should look something like this, well mixed together, but we have one more step. We are gonna be adding a cup of shredded cheddar cheese with it. I went with the Cabot Creamery. Usually these packets are about 2 cups, so we're gonna add just about half a packet there. And then mix it again. Next, take some duck fat or whatever you have and just spray the bottom of your pan. Dump in your pre-loaf, and then we're gonna shape it when it's in here. Your loaf will look something like this. For a little added flavor, I'm just gonna top it off with some more of that prime 4 classic. Now you're gonna take your pre-cooked, pre-crisp bacon and we're gonna wrap it around, tucking underneath so that we have like a uniform look. I mean, come on, look at that. It is beautiful. Let's go put it on the smoker for about 2 to 2.5 hours. Now for this, you want to use a hardwood pellet to give that nice smoky flair. So I'm using some mesquite pellets in here. It's going to add really nicely to that beef flavor. It's been about 1 hour and 45 minutes. We're going to take some Kosmos competition barbecue sauce and we're going to use it as a glaze. But let's take a look first. Do you see how beautiful that looks? The bacon is crisping up. There's a lot of juices in there from the pork, the beef, and the bacon. And all we got to do now is just add that glaze to it. You want to glaze it about 20 to 30 minutes before it's done. That way it can kind of bake in there, have a nice beautiful glaze, and amazing presentation on the back end. After about 2 hours, you can see how gorgeous this is. Look at the glaze from the barbecue sauce. There's lots of juices in there we're gonna dump out, but we're gonna set it in the kitchen and let it sit for about 10 minutes. 10 minutes is over. I transferred it to a pan. It smells so good too. We're just gonna slice into it. You're gonna see first. Perfectly cooked like a meatloaf. I pulled it off the smoker at 155 because it's still gonna have a lot of that juiciness in here. That's the cross section. It looks like a perfectly done meatloaf. Lots of onion, the cheese melted. There's gonna be tons of flavor in here. That's the cross section right there. Here's the other side of it. You know we gotta try it. Cheers. Just gonna dive in. So much flavor coming from this. We can taste the tang of the onion that we have in there. This barbecue sauce is sweet and smoky. The bacon is perfectly crispy. You have the mixture of the beef and the pork, the 2-to-1 ratio. You can taste the spices in there. I mean, you can even see the seasonings in there, kind of like right here, here. So, oh my God. Really, really good. Hands down, this is better than your mom's old recipe for meatloaf. This has some flavor, it has some smoke, it has lots of character that is gonna be a hit when your family comes together and you serve it at your dining room table. And I'll tell you one thing, when you follow this recipe, it turns out perfect, just like me. And if you love barbecue content and grilling content, why don't you go ahead and hit the subscribe button below, let you have notifications when our new weekly videos come out. New recipes every week, reviews, all kinds of stuff, and it all revolves around the world of barbecue. And I do want to add one thing here. Y'all know I do a lot of work with Kosmos Q here, you know, make barbecue great again. He says he has the best meatloaf. This meatloaf tops his. I've made his. This is better. So Cosmo, if you're watching, challenge issued to you, Cosmo. Until next time, keep those grills fired up so the flavor doesn't go down. See you then. Dip it in the sauce right here. Mmm. Mmm.